I think the sustain from Ivy could prove to be a bit of an issue, but I do think once BKBs come out, if they don't have a firm control before the BKBs on D2 Hustler, then I feel like it might flip back onto Radiant's favor a little bit.
Yeah, no, there's certainly avenues for Ivy to be able to win it, but still feeling confident. Let's see how it turns out. I'm also just having a quick look if at all there is purchase. One up against the Hoodwink. Still one of these heroes that an item in 100 gold item.
Ah, that tickles.
Hopefully that's the players at least, rather than the people joining and leaving. Bit of an issue.
With the Colin Blade that you were mentioning, are we more hoping for the Abaddon to pick it up, or is there a realm that
you could afford
that? Because I know it's been a little bit more popular on the ranged heroes with the value that you get now in regards to the damage. Of course, the cost being reduced heavily, and just what 6 damage I think for range is enough to warrant you to purchase it. But I don't think Leshrac is kind of one of those that, like you said, in a really specific game like this where you potentially want it against the Hoodwink. We've seen even matchups versus the Train Protector where you kind of go to the lane and clear all the creeps as well. But speaking about the lanes, you mentioned with the kind of the reasoning behind the Queen of Pain pick. It's a really good matchup versus the Bat Rider. What about the other lanes though here for Ivy and D2 Hustlers? Is there kind of sides that we think will be a little bit more favored than the other?
I think it probably should just be a farm trade in terms of the sub. I think that's probably going such a strong. Do, and they haven't really picks to frontline disruptor from just being eventually.
Yeah, and it seems like this bottom lane as well with the Lena and the Clockwork should be able to get a decent amount of the Eidolons. You've got that kind of Battery Assault, which has a lot more effectiveness against the summons now. The LSA is going to be really nice as well, just to get the damage going through. So it's not like we're kind of expecting Shad to put a lot more points in the Dragon Slave just in this specific matchup to deal with the Eidolon. So it'll be nice for him to continue with that kind of natural build that we've seen from the Lena. I've seen a lot of kind of 1-1-4. Even some of the carries are putting more points into the LSA than the other. It definitely seems like a more individual preference in some games.
And we're just seeing so much from big correct. They're able to do down pretty quick. Buffed up damage against creep that Clockwork has now with the Battery Assault. So gonna try and
Alex might be in trouble if Pio is able to land the stun, but Alex just scurries on by. We already see the aggression coming out, and this is much needed against the Visage lane. Level 1, you've got some power with a Soul Assumption spam, but still, you see how strong this can be from Ivy. Just the Abaddon running forward, tanking up some spells, and you've got that Lesh to be able to... It doesn't have a guaranteed setup for the Split Earth at least, but still able to freely right-click from afar, so they're definitely dwindling down the resources.
Oh, with his tangos. We've got a couple of sets coming through on Alex, so it wasn't too bad. HP, I think it was... Oh. Get this step. That pull off, but yeah.
Yeah, and with the kind of duo from D2 Hustlers, Divide Llama and Alex, I'm really excited to see how these two are able to continue to develop as players, because of course we did see them at the TI Last Chance qualifiers with Wildcard. A lot of people were very impressed with Divide Llama in particular with his performance, so we'll see how that experience is able to pay out in regards to now hopefully getting them into a Div 1 position.
return to your pretty solid performances. A bit challenging for them to where but they belong. They're such a talented pair. Ace and they made them. Might be seeing.
Well, in regards to the mid matchup, looking pretty good for Mirai at the moment. 11 to 10 compared to the 8 and 2. He's able to secure the water runes as well, so Raj might have some issues in regards to his sustain, especially if Mobai is able to continue to spam out. Has gone 2 points in the dagger, so we'll see if there's going to be kind of any help from maybe some supports to refill the bottle shortly.
I mean, that's the thing. Like, you just can't go for any dives on the pad, and most times you out on the trade. Not against a quap, not with Shadow Strike. It's not like you're even regularly.
Don't burn your fingers.
Laning phase really.
It's more for fun than sport.
Tanking up a
Oh, sing the praises. The classic curse goes down as first blood as PO. Strike first in our game 1.
The reason I was talking about that, not the cursive, but I mean, most of the times as a Visage, you don't get out of the laning anywhere close. No, it's not. He's still 500. I think as long as this Visage gets a pretty time, is able to be fairly happy. Bulls happening. Ball camp.
The llama might take a little bit. Yeah, I remember see Lean on top of the net worth. Having a very good time at the moment. Can they turn it actually on the Lesh? Yeah, to buy llama. So Assumption's going to pump in the damage. PO to play around with the Self, considering about diving under the tower, but they will at least be able to mitigate a lot of the sustain coming up from the Self. So some nice damage out of D2 Hustlers.
5 minutes in, already having to just go build up his own stack inside the jungle, and I like the way that he's been able to navigate this way. He knows that it's a horrible laning matchup, so you know what? I'm not going to lane. That way to deal.
Be able to get that catch up. Be able to make his trip back to base. We do have the first power runes coming up in the next 30 seconds. The Batrider will have some, at least mana and health to be able to contest this, but I wonder if the supports are going to look to get involved as well. This first power rune could be really important for Mobile to be activated across the map now with that Sonic Wave.
Yeah, and I mean, he knows that Batrider was placing up his own ward to even get damage.
Radiant's courier has been killed.
Prioritize power, and they looking up the DD. It's not damage. The clock's going to be.
Let's leave Shadow alone down bottom, but Angel is instantly going to TP back, so I mean, Cube not able to get aggressive with the solo lane. I do want to just bring up the wards that we see placed across the map from D2 Hustlers. A lot of emphasis with these two kind of river wards to the northern side, protecting their off lane. And even the cliff as well down bottom. I'll actually hold that thought as Vincent might be in a little bit of trouble. Photic Shield's able to protect him though, so the Abaddon's able to step away. But we do see that D2 Hustlers have put a lot of emphasis on placing down this kind of defensive vision, putting a lot of kind of respect onto Mobile's potential movements across the map.
Damage.
Yeah, I like the ward next to the Batrider right now, and I like the one, but not the third one. I don't think they needed the two wards on the top side, and that hindered them a little bit.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
Just getting redundant. That's.
Yeah. I do math and my English pretty cool. No good. No good? Okay, no good. Yo. Going for this thing. Vincent still posturing pretty aggressively. Just waiting to see once we get those level 6s. Honestly, was expecting maybe the position 2s to get a little bit more involved, but of course Mirage, we're going to try and get that catch up. We will have the next power rune up shortly as well, so maybe this is when we could see that rotation, but if not the case, then it's probably going to be the level 6s coming out from the supports when we might see a little bit more action in this one.
Flash making sure that he makes it towards that bottom rune. He's going to get right in front of the swap. Really good rotations. Swap from most out of
next time you merge with the impurities.
Kill off the back of the left track and able to pull by the Aquatic Shield. That dive on the...
So important to give him a good lane. Top of the net worth on Pier. All the kills they've gotten so far, given over the left track as well. So we'll get him towards that faster Bloodstone timing. Of course, he's going to be the person pumping out a lot of the damage, and especially into the towers as well. It will make a trip all the way back to base, so to freshen up a little bit on the left.
Understandable. I mean, it's important about him to be able to get up his levels a little bit. Obviously, jungle and get it. You don't and to be either. But it's going to be really important.
It's not even my birthday.
6, for example. Yeah, to be able to... about it a little bit. One...
Worthy tribute.
Claim that next. Worried about Quap. Pain.
Yeah, I'd like to see Mobi start to move shortly once this mechanism is completed for Own Me. You're going to have probably 3 points in the conversion by then, so a Sonic Wave into the potential tower is, I think, the next move, maybe for Ivy.
Stupid nit.
Possibly.
Top lane.
Pick up that double damage and so job of gonna consider this dive here in the blink, so off cooldown, and it's tempted.
Support's making sure they stick around just in case that dive does go like you mentioned. So very impressed with the Mirage and how much farm he's been able to get out of the map. But in regards to their kind of position 3, Divine Llama at the bottom of the net worth out of all the cores. And do we feel like this is going to be an issue in regards to how Hustler wants to play the game if their Visage doesn't have as much net worth?
Well, again, it's going to come off the back of objectives, right? 6, you see what that does. Makes it up towards top. Low on net worth, if I'm being honest. It's going to try to get onto the advan before.
Up the lasso, why not? Secure the first kill of the game for D2 Hustlers. Even Sharpshooter as well was actually used, so a bit of an extra ultimate that wasn't necessary, but it doesn't have the longest cooldown. And maybe they can. Pier is going to TP in aggressively. The rest of Ivy are going to start to funnel into the area. The Mortimer Kiss is getting laid from downtown, but still they'll just turn to Pier. The damage isn't there at the moment, so the Strat can he sustain through the sole assumption he can. Pier stays alive, and Ivy successfully defend their tower.
And take a bottom tower all the while. You've still got the TP available on the Enigma. Offside and downside's right. They didn't the Sharpshooter to be not quite yet at level 6. They might just go for an attempt again.
Dire's top tower
Not
is
to be
under
able to
attack.
protect this top tower
Radiant
at all.
are scanning.
Without too much effect.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
Another power and going Mirage's way, so would have been really nice for Ivy after getting a little bit of map control to secure that for Mobi, but again, it's not going to go their way. But we'll have a lot more farm to work with now. We see the Enigma just getting a little bit extra extra of the net worth thanks to the small camp and the hard camp now. Mechanism completed. 1400 gold in the bank as well for Own Me. And are we expecting Ivy to look to try and transition this into another T1 tower shortly, or is there still a little bit that they need to pick up before they can pressure this tier 1 mid?
To potentially do it, they might be waiting for the surprise black hole coming out with 100 gold. Coming through.
Dire
one of it.
are scanning.
Carries. Yo, he's farming up a stack of his own.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
That's the name of the game for Ivy, right? Dating this left, you've got the Bloodstone, you've got the hole, you'll have Baden standing behind him. And swap it.
Yeah, and that is kind of my concern with D2 Hustlers. You are very, very single target in regards to your damage. So if you're unable to blow up that one hero, then all of a sudden, if Ivy can sustain it, like you said, with all the items, and it could be a really big issue with the further drawn out fights with them just having no damage in the tank. As mid lane, a nice cookie from the Snapfire secures a freebie onto the Clockwork, but they won't get a whole lot of damage into the towers. Mirage should be able to clean this up. I guess
Be able to have too much though for them to get away from top
the Radiant's courier has been killed. Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
nice cookie though.
Quiet as a dead
Back to back
mouse.
from Cube. That cookie on 4. That fight's a pretty high level as well. Yeah,
Radiant's
yeah, that's
bottom
true.
tower
It's
is
like,
under attack.
probably not necessary. We see, I mean,
Radiant's middle tower is under
behind the
attack.
tower. Objective right now
Radiant
on Ivy is,
structures are
well, we've got
fortified.
everything we could possibly want. They might have just scouted out the Blink Dagger on a Nick.
Radiant's middle tower
Give
has
any
fallen.
sanctuary. Players to be able to
oh, they're gonna go straight away as well. Yeah, look at this. Smoke up. The Llama's the target. We'll reach some of the familiars just to be a potential use of the drop to hold the Queen of Pain back, but we saw the odds from esportsbet.io prior favoring Ivy, and well, it's looking to be the case with how strong of a start they've got in the game like this. 2,000 net worth lead, but all right, why not? Mortimer Kisses laid down as well for the damage required to bring down Mirage, and a great combo coming out from Ivy in regards to their ultimates. Inside the jungle though, Sento's gonna run into Angel. Clockwork will be okay. And still, Ivy. Are they going to be able to get the kill onto Mobile? Use all their stuns at the same time, and it doesn't matter because Angel's off to the right side to hold him into place. And well, we see Shad. This is a person that we haven't really spoken about a whole lot. This lane has been freely farming around the map, and we see top of the net worth and already has plenty of damage at the moment. Let's see if it's still going to be enough though. Pio, Bloodstone activated. Abaddon behind him as well to keep the Less Track alive, but is it sustain enough? You bet it is. Once again, Pio, he's going to be cautious though, but the shield cancels out the lasso. No effectiveness coming out from the ultimate from the Batrider, and this is something we've been mentioning, Denog. Pio is not going to be an easy man to bring down. In regards if the boys are positioned behind him.
Never mind. There we go. Double damage denied by Divine Llama with the familiars. Has he gotten a single one of these power runes? I don't think
so.
Having such a high level of effectiveness on this Queen. Poke here. Come back off cooldown. Got the borrowed time. No more kisses, but they want to make use out of that sonic wave. And
Radiant are scanning. Radiant's courier has been
dude,
killed.
you have to know. They've been off the map for quite some time, so.
Looks like that's going to be the case. Poor Divine Llama. We'll make him work for it in the end, though. The kill nonetheless for Ivy. 4,000 net worth lead. Is this starting to get to a stage where D2 Hustlers... Are we concerned, or are they okay considering still Shad has not been touched across the map? This man is still farming like a beast, and something you mentioned, like it's not going to be a fun time if this is a really, really farm leaner. So this is something that you should be too worried about for Radiant?
Oh, I mean, of course. I think they always expected like a couple of these things. quite poorly, but not the past few. Thing is, after they used the Black Hole Mortimer's bow, they had all of the tools that found the pick on the pain. And I was thinking that Tier 1 tower was gone, but the thing is, movement's incredibly predictable. Ivy set up amazingly. Chenzo, and so they also have Bloodstone available, so they realized what their strength was at that game and bonded a court. How I've been able, what D2 Hustlers wanting to do it. Maybe all they need to do to make this next play is finally get this power room to come up in about 5 seconds.
They get lucky though. Been a bit unfortunate. Yeah, we haven't even seen his ulti just yet, but that's a perfect room to utilize for the Queen of Pain. Arcane now to work with, has that Kyron Sun, so I wonder if they're going to consider about taking this, at least putting some pressure onto the T2 tower down bottom. We see both sides kind of just flipping the map, just Radiant playing up at the kind of top guy jungle area. So Shad does have the BKB. We'll see if this is an item that...
Oh, I was about to say they should know.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
Nice kill once again. Cupid and Mobi playing together, but not even going to be able to wrap around as well to put the pressure on. Great scan as well from Ivy. Reading Shad, making the attempt to try and steal that Roshan. You've got to be really cautious about this if you can continue to go in an area like this where the black hole could be a threat.
Up on the top side, it's
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
positioning by Alex, right?
Rosh is falling fast.
Gotta make a move. They gotta do it now.
They're gonna be too late, it looks like.
Feeling everything.
Well, they'll be able to blow up the one. Mobi committed into the river, but no concern. You got to be really happy with that for D2 Hustlers. You still Roche, even though the scan was on the mark for Ivy, so they knew exactly what was going on, but you now have that Aegis advantage for Shad, which is ever so important against the lineup of Ivy, where you'd be concerned about that blink black hole into the follow-up burst. Now you've got the second life to protect you.
You do, but you also have a BKB now. I think he's... Get into the... L next. I'm really fine. The only thing holding him back right now. Bloodstone.
A lot of that comes down to then the positioning of the Abaddon. We see very close to the 4-star from Vincent, so that'll help out just with his defensive capability to reposition his team, maybe even get him closer to the Aphotic Shield as well. And of course, the Philosopher's Stone going to be a great neutral item here for the Abaddon. Someone who doesn't get a whole lot of farm across the map, so at least just getting that one item could make or break his game.
100 mana dated, right? That Aphotic Shield spam that he's inevitably doing. Stuff, rating clockwork, rating Alina, if you're on point with a light strike array, you're able to get out a big pull. What D2 Hustlers need, they actually wait this not come online, like walking underneath the wall.
Worthy
He's able to get into this horrible for them. If Hustler is able to get the hook shot onto Madden, isolate him away from the rest, then you can actually go on something. That troops of travel available on the Bat Riders. Like he can down the bottom, and he is actually going Octarine. Been helped out by the eye of the
Radiant are scanning.
See a wraparound coming from D2 Hustlers though. We're going to try and put some pressure onto the Tier 1 tower, with Shad being the front line.
Is under attack.
Looks like Ivy's not in a position to be able to protect it. They will glyph. Maybe giving them some time to bring their forces from the bottom side of the map.
Dyer's middle tower has
is
fallen.
such a big part. of their
Radiant
defense.
structures are fortified.
Like they want to contest this too much, and I really like this move. Relatively, they know that one tower to go down. So what are
Dyer's top
That's
tower
threat.
is under attack.
the side? I'm surprised the clock, not a rocket player, behind this tower just to prevent. Again, but guys, just on the mini map
Dyer's top tower
down on this
has
bottom
fallen.
side, and now it's
Radiant's
gone.
bottom tower is under
Do you
attack.
feel like Ivy unstrung right now?
I think they probably could have taken Hustlers.
Yeah.
Dyer's
guess they don't
top
have-
tower
they don't
is
have-
under attack.
Getting knocked on now.
Now you're forcing them
Radiant's
back, losing
bottom
map
tower
control.
has fallen.
Theo's gonna reveal himself. Coop as well. So they see that all of Ivy come back to defend the tower. So this is a lot of map control going the way of D2 Hustlers. Now look.
Sweep map again. Double boots of travel on the team. So it's a 5k net worth lead for Ivy right now. That's
Yeah. Getting to the stage where, and we've spoken a lot about the leaner, but still the farm continuing to be picked up at a rapid rate for Shad. He's got that Dragon Lance completed. 40 seconds still to work with the Aegis as well. And it looks like Ivy don't have a response, and this is kind of the issue when you're on the back foot with this lineup.
Dyer's
Got a
middle
lot of
tower
difficulty
is
with
under
starting
attack.
fights. You want D2 Hustlers to kind of run into you when you're taking objectives, but
Radiant structures
now that they're the
are
ones...
fortified.
Tried doing that a few times, right? And then they were like, well, that clearly doesn't work. Let's change our strategy. Just sit behind leader. What can they do?
We see they're trying to change in regards to the itemization. Cube's going to a Scepter to maybe chuck the Leshrac into the middle, or maybe the Enigma as well, but they got to be the ones that are going first, and that's going to be the case here. Going 5 for Ivy. This could be devastating, though, with the DD onto Shad. The worst timing for them to go for the smoke. The Aegis will tick out, and they're going to see Divine Llama a little bit away from the team. How do you get the angle into the middle, though, from Ivy? They're very hesitant, and well, Angel's going to be able to scout one of them out, so maybe this can help D2 Hustlers to reposition.
Love a clockwork. That build. He's already on his way. Watch those rockets. Push the Blaves out. The important thing that I was saying, Ivy needed. Can't just be powers too easy. Now you've got a clockwork that once you fix this up, he's every single backwards. Guardi as well. Against an Abaddon and a Leshrac. Pick up that Eye of Skadi, then bluff.
I think there's a huge item pickup. A great way to be able to kite the Leshrac. Side the middle of the fight. And give him in particular as well, just that extra little bit of stats as well to help out with his sustain. Just making sure he doesn't get brought down. This is kind of the one thing with this new Lena build, all the stats and that 15 talent. Kind of survivable, which you wouldn't really expect from like a range damage source like this hero. Yeah. it's a nice talent. It's a nice talent. We
Dyer's
saw them
bottom
smoke
tower
prior.
is under
See if
attack.
they want to make a play happen with the double damage rune that was just activated from Shad, of course, to get timed out with the power rune, but looks like they're still just happy with what they're getting, though. So the rest of the cores from Hustlers are definitely taking a hit in regards to the net worth. We see all the priority pretty much given over to the Lena, which means Divine Llama, along with Mirage, is having some issues with being able to get their farm across the map.
Case of, well, there's no kills happening, we're fine with it. It's such a big timing. Then we know how deadly that armor corrupt. Just had the Aghanim shard queued up, now the AC is.
Can they even brute force down this tier 2 tower mid? This is a very... Think they can? Alright. Because this is something that...
Greaves, you've got Blink BKB on the Enigma, you've got an Abaddon behind you, you've got a low dash, like they've got all the tools. Like what place to go, maybe pick off.
Yeah, I'm just concerned it might be a bit too late now for that tower in regards to the Lina having the items to be able to potentially get that damage in. I feel like this is definitely how Ivy's lineup needs to work, but they're just getting pulled across the map like again, D2 hustlers. Like you got the Visage shoving out top. You mentioned multiple times the Boots of Travels just to be able to deal with the side lanes. It must be so frustrating for Ivy to play this game because you don't have that way to start the fight.
Now you've got a Psychic Hairband as well on Batrider, so that lens be able to get the nags from away.
This could be it though. It's been brewing for this moment. The smoke from both sides. Face each other in the river. Mobai and gone forward, but Alex is able to react as well with his own blink dagger from the Hoodwink, and it looks like both sides are going to back off and chill for a little bit. We do have Roshan up in a couple of seconds, so now it's a game of who can get themselves set up for this second Rosh. A pivotal Rosh to be able to tell of where this one is going to go.
Dire are scanning.
Check and rip wants to actually make that movement.
Hero doesn't have boys behind him. There we go. He leads him with the lasso. Straight dragged into Shad. Damage only. We'll try and get the black hole up, but it's just a little bit too late. An ultimate for North. The Lava even tips the Enigma mid-fight, recognizing that ultimate will give them nothing to turn the fight around. And they're not done just yet. Throw to the North they go, catching up the Cube on the Snapfire as D2 Hustlers will now have firm control of this game. An easy engagement for them, but they can now look to reap the rewards with claiming Roche.
Immortality.
I've
given over Batrider.
okay.
Might give it even maybe incoming. Oh.
Do we, because we see there's a gem queued up, actually Vincent actually bought it. I was going to say, do we even want to see him go for something like a blink dagger? Maybe just to help out if there is a, you know, a lapse of kind of his position he can make for it really easily with that blink.
Bounty.
You're gonna get it.
Yeah, so I was questioning this when he had like 1100 gold in the bank. 1100. That was when I was starting to question. Now, you know, it's fallen down a little bit. So it's, yeah, maybe the question is not as important now after he bought the gem.
Dire's bottom tower has fallen.
Certainly is quite. Unless you're winning team fights.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
They're trying to get something out.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
Lanes except Alpha pushing.
Dire's middle tower
Not
is
amazing
under attack. Dire's bottom tower has fallen. Radiant's top tower has fallen. Dire's middle tower has fallen.
They're going to force them back.
Siege creep as well.
They're so close to having the scepter completed on the Snapfire. It might catch them off guard with this defense, but lacking the gold. I wonder if he sells maybe the one, but that won't even get him close enough. You need something. You need some X factor to catch them off guard here, because Hustlers, they can just set up with the Lina at the front. 3,400 health under ranged. Trying to carry, so not easy to go through her as well.
Isn't that nice? Isn't that balanced? I can't wait.
Radiant are scanning.
That's the crazy thing. That is the crazy thing. She used to be stronger and she's still first pick material. So we're going to see them kind of use that strength here from Hustler. Smoke up, sweeping across the map. It's kind of the play to cement their positioning, keep Ivy inside the base. With this going on, they will be able to get over to their triangle and over the D ward. They also get that ever-needed scepter completed on the Snapfire. So what's the play for them? What is the move from Ivy with this kind of gobble up? Who are they sending into the middle?
I think they just need some kind of way to start the fight. I can see on the back of on in for but it very well could be the Lesh. I've had a quick look over at Lesh's item. He is going into the Hef, so he very clearly target after the stun comes in. Without that blink dagger, it is gobbled up.
Do you see the Queen of Pain up to her shenanigans? Really hate to have to BKB, but it might be a little bit too late now. They've got the damage coming through from Shad. Beautifully done. Alex sets it up. Mirage able to TP in with the Boots of Travel, and now they can look to put some pressure on with the Queen of Pain down for 60 seconds. What can you do to stall this one out for Ivy?
I mean, that's kind of what Pop was trying to do, right? Arming on the other side of the map, probably trying to cut the mid. But again, Boxman is a very, very strong item for that sort of game.
Oh, they're going to find another as well. Cento. They'll chase down the Abaddon with ease. Alex is even looking for the Snapfire as well, if they can even catch up to the second support, but that won't be the case. So an easy kill onto the Abaddon. He's kind of wasting a little bit of time, but they're close enough to the base that won't particularly matter. They'll get the gem as well. Nice attempt with that Courier.
They tried sending out couriers to try and save the gem, and they all died. Oh, the machine gun, the anti-air rifle coming through from Shad. Look at this Eidolon, the single Eidolon pulling the mid creep wave back. What a hero!
All right, very nicely done. This is. We've seen some shenanigans from like 33. I mean, we've seen it for a long time with his microwave and using couriers as well. And then our own Michelle, like, yeah, I can do it with the Eidolons as well. And they stalled it. I asked the question of like how you can stop hustlers from getting inside the base, and that little space that the Abaddon was able to make, and now the Eidolons as well, means that the tower's not going to take any damage, and this Aegis will tick out as well. So Ivy, do you want to make a play now with the two hustlers not having this second life to work with?
Yeah, I mean, it feels kind of like they have to. Maybe they're waiting until
And it's up.
gets completed by PO, just because they do initial amount. Able to catch, especially if very, very good. Get her without the buyback. That's in part of the damage. Could be off the back of a surprise. Flash.
Dire's
Launch
top
the
tower
rocket.
is under attack.
Long range artillery.
Illusion!
Yeah. Is it one of the better scepters? I'm a big fan of the overclocking.
The best.
The best? The best. That's
Fun to use.
How many heroes are there? There's a lot of heroes. You're putting Clockwork as the most fun.
18 or so.
No, that's a big praise for Angel's Clockwork. Scepter. I mean, definitely overclocking's fun. We only see it for the Rocket Flare though. You can see a little bit of the reactions.
Battery Assault's pretty good as well against these Eidolons.
Boom! There it goes.
Hate to see him going into the... Probably just so that he doesn't need to be able to stop the Mortimer's
Dire's
kisses
middle
and
tower is
have
under
something
attack.
to be able to cancel out the black hole. I think they realize that. The only way that they're going to win
are fortified.
or off the back of Fractors jumping in that Cypher Vice 100 to 0.
We already see like hustlers have already itemized to adapt to that black hole. I mean, you mentioned the Octarine for the cast range. The Eye of the Vizier was what Mirage was holding before, but he's got the headband now, so it's really not going to be easy for him. You kind of have to get the Bat Rider inside the black hole and maybe hope that Clockwork has already used his hook.
This is it. Completely been spotted out by the artillery. Let's go. I mean, everything about their movement is just... Inside the Vice available. Should know to be able to play around that. I think if Ivy don't win this next...
Dire's top tower is under attack.
God.
Dire's top tower
Got
has
everything.
fallen.
Should be able to use
Dire's top barracks are
on
under
wrap around,
attack.
but I don't think you'll have time. Base is getting whacked on, and obvious. Make movement. I'm outside of road.
And again. Double mobile, they do actually get the stun to Alex. And early use of everything that Queen of Pain has just to get the kill into the hoodwink. What can they do with Shad? He's going to look to enter the fight straight over towards us. Snap for an easy amount of damage to rip him apart. In fact, he turns in the Igor as well, wanting to take the black hole completely out of the equation. And there's just nothing that Ivy can do. Lena just doing Lena things. And now they've caught up to PO as well. Angel making sure there's no retreat. Gotta be cautious about the cogs pushing to the high ground, but that will not occur as Shad comes in to rip apart the Leshrac. And there's just no response. They've just hung around for too long, and Hustlers, well, easy one for them to be able to take this team fight. And what can Ivy do? I don't know. This is looking like a scary position.
They can't do anything. Like
Dyer's
that was
top
the wrong
barracks
chance. I'd say they're much more experienced.
Dyer's
Sonic
top
Wave being
barracks
committed
Radiant
onto
are
a support
scanning.
hero. You also see back the tier 3 tower up top. That was essentially the only thing that they needed to be able to say, all right, time to go. No Leshrac, they have no damage. Completely cleans up this team, getting a, I believe, controlling the Abat entirely. That doesn't prevent anything.
Yeah, beautifully done from the Batrider in that fight. Mirage being able to kind of find that real target that he needs in regards to the Enigma. Just making sure they can take the black hole, because that really feels like right now it's all the hopes on Ivy are in that one ultimate from Omi. You can find that decent black hole off, but you know, we saw the Batrider made sure that was not a possibility.
I want to see them work up again on Ivy, and I want to see them get some. Try and catch out the leader. You know that she's going to travel. She could afford to be farming packages. They're able to do that, and that allows them to get out right as a about to respawn. Maker, but
I say, look how responsible they're playing on their two Hustlers, like making sure they just come together, not giving an opportunity for Ivy to get a pick off just before Roche. It's really disciplined from them. I'm quite impressed.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
there to deward the sentry. And make a dive, they're probably dead. Pressure picked up.
Try and bring down Alex. They'll secure the kill, but now the rest of the boys have shown up to the party. Is Shad. Gonna chase down Vincento. Nice chuck away with a gobble up, so Q will be able to keep at least his core alive, but a well worthwhile sacrifice. His fellow support will also be chased down from Mirage's Batrider, so in the end, they do get the buyback out of Alex, but of course 2 deaths going their own way as well.
Pushing on forward again. 2 lives. One of the best counters. Wraith King does it. Mortal does it. Black Hole. The only effect you're able
Chalk it up to another close call.
Sieging from afar right now. Level 6. Plenty of attack range. Plenty of damage.
Inside. Alright. I'll see that once again. Master's going to be the ultimate Enigma. They'll hope around for the buyback into the Black Hole turret. They were able to deal with the first snipe, but now off the back of the respawn. And they see targeted down afterwards. Mirage again. Another lasso. Oh, the Batrider continuing to do it all for them. It's dieback now for Omi. And with that, no threat of the Black Hole, and that's what they're ever desiring to have a hope now. Have a hope.
Yeah, I mean, that was the big thing that they were looking to play off the back of, right? Lesh just doing damage with the Black Hole coming through. Well, they tried to counter the Aegis, counter the Black Hole by popping Refresher on the Queen of Pain. That Sonic Wave on her twice just to kill that Aegis.
And it's off.
Roll afterwards. Yeah, then.
She isn't, so... What's a Refresher shard used for the sort of Refresher Orb? The Batrider, which he now has completed, so... It's a beautiful use for him as well. Continuing to be very impressed with the Batrider's performance. Second in regards to the net worth, and see if they're going to look to go high ground short. They're dealing with all their side lanes at the moment. Two hustlers.
Fire lady comes in. Float. Yeah. I guess the games normally end before you get to that. So
She's so farm, dude. So farm, dude.
It's not wanting to take it with any chances. Got blessing up, but you don't want to give them an avenue to be able to come back into it. You got to save that.
Boom, there it goes.
He's someone's farm. He's like, no, we're not ending this game till I've completely slotted. Shard, Scepter, maybe even a Moonshard as well. Shad's like, nah, boys, come on. Next stages, that's what we need. That's what we need.
Pretty solid. Just this thing again. Just the one lane being belted. Divine Llama is
Dire are scanning.
the rest of the boys behind him as well. Fault right now.
How do you crack the high ground? Ivor's going to put Moby first. Radiant have great vision to take a fight here. They're going to jump to the south as Moby. Targeting down Angel. A lot of damage towards the Clockwork. They'll utilize the Sonic Wave as well to blow him up. But again, Mirage catching up the Enigma, refreshing up the Lasso as well. So even the Last Track will go down. Shad is just too far. This Lena. What a hero. A first phase pick as well from D2 Hustlers, but it does not matter. Shad 8-0 and 9. And now they can look to move up the high guns, move up the high, but take some easy objectives. The buybacks are coming up from Ivy to be able to protect the third appeal. A little bit cautious, protected with the Lotus Orb as well. The Lotus Orb's not really going to stop you against Selena's damage. Just Mobi though. Jumping into the Sonic Wave, 4-star, able to dodge it. And game will be caught as D2 Hustlers. What a way to be able to start their Division 2 run.
Radiant
It is indeed just game one of the series, but certainly recovering off the back of a rough laning stage and showing why understanding of map control really is what wins games.